Hey YouTube, so we're back on the Ibanez rs100 now set up. It was nice working on this guitar. Sometimes it's nice, see, like, I don't know, it's just all the parts on it were lovely, and this, it wasn't dirty. Like, this guitar is what a guitar that's 40 years old, 40, 39 should be like. It's like, yeah, a few wee scuffs, you know what I mean, yeah, some wear, but clean and everything there. I mean, I squished the pots with contact cleaner, so now they're silent. Switches gave the switch a bit of a clean, restrung it, wee bit of truss rod adjustment, did the saddles and intonation, and it's playing like a dream. It kind of was playing quite well before, but now it's playing really well. Like, as good as a Strat can be, really, let's just say there. So I'm going to try and keep this video down to 10 minutes. I do have a bit where I had the camera in my head, just to show you the routing on the inside of that, but I might leave that for another video. I'm kind of running out of time today a little bit. It's just, when you get the early 80s Japanese quality, it's just through the roof, basically. So we're messing about with just playing through the Black Star. There. And then phase. Cheat a little bit, I've got to play a solo for that tomorrow in the studio. Insect sound. quite a lot of work to do before tomorrow. Just going to wing in the studio. Yeah, so I mean, as I knew it would, it plays amazingly. I forgot to mention in the last one, if I managed to stick the extra bit in when I was cameras on my head, I'll mention it. 7¼ inch radius all the way, so proper vintage Stratty things going on. I tend not to notice these things after my... Once you've had a 7¼ inch, you kind of get used to it. It just makes it... It just feels really nice. I think it kind of limits how low you can get the action if you're wanting to be pure... But I mean, I've got this set pretty low and it's not choking out anyway. You're still getting the full bends. There's a problem with the really curved fingerboard is, but obviously when you bend a string, a high one, it's kind of going up a hill and down a bit, which means it's likely to choke out somewhere. But this one doesn't. The guitar itself has been looked after and it's really nice. I know it's been stripped at some point, but it's not been stripped by a teenager who thought it'd be funny if they had a purple guitar, i.e. the sort of thing I did. I think what's happened is the sunburst started rubbing off, and back in the 80s, relic wasn't cool, so someone's just sanded it down and given it a light varnish. I do quite like the way it's turned out though. The pinstripe thing looks like a feature. It's kind of bizarre the way it's a hidden thing. But just the wee things when you're setting up a guitar like this where everything's great. Even the bridge wasn't dirty or anything like that. The guitar's like when you get a guitar that's maybe... I think this might have even been played up until it was bought. This isn't one of those guitars, which is most of the ones I seem to get, including my red one, where it's not really been played in 10 years, so it's been like sitting in a cupboard, or in that case that was sitting in someone's living room for 10 years. I don't know if it had ever been tuned, sort of thing. It was more of an ornament than anything else, which you tend to get with, with people selling guitars. It's like, oh, I've got 3 guitars, well, I need to sell one, I'll sell that one because I haven't played it in 10 years, is kind of the way it sort of works quite a lot of the time. But this one I don't think, I didn't get that impression. It wasn't clean as in someone had just cleaned it, it was just in general clean, The neck on it's wonderful, it really is. I mean, I can see you could use this neck on a Fender Strat and it would be an upgrade, assuming the bits fit. Basically I was going to say it's very similar to my Japanese Fender Strat. I've got 2 of them now. It's quite similar to them because it's made, it's made 10 years earlier than the 2 I've got, so it's got 10 years age on it. It's made by the same factory, which means it might be made by the same woman. But it's like just the feel of the edge of the fingerboard. This is one of those guitars that if it was for sale in a shop where people could play it, it would sell as soon as anybody played it. Because then you're like, oh, Roadster, that seems quite cheap. I wonder what that's like. And they're going to go, fucking hell, this is a pure amazing Strat. It's like, yeah. It's like an uncommonly good Strat. You do occasionally get, I've played Mexican ones that were, well, this one's actually really, it's got something special about it. Now, this is one of them in that range. But I think what happens with it, because they're that good at manufacturing in Japan in this era, they're all like that. I think I'm quite confident. I've played quite a few West Tone Thunders, and they're all exactly the same. And how similar that Roadster feels to the other one, which is on the wall there, even though they're ranges apart, they're just it's the same guitar, even though it's a completely different shape and all that. It's like the quality level is just through the roof. This one could have ideally would have a slightly longer Strat for me, but I don't like to adjust other people's straps. Just a wee bit high. If it was just a wee bit lower, I'd be a bit happier. But the neck on this is much better neck than my other one. You can't see my Blazer, but it's a very similar profile. It's just, it will just be a whatever year Fender neck they've copied. It's a 62 Fender neck is what it is. Just everything apart from the shape of the headstock is a 62 or a 58 or whatever year it is the Japanese like to make their JVs out of. I didn't make it down to 10 minutes, I managed to make it down to 12, so I didn't really talk about the guitar very much. As I said, RS, so this is a Rhodes Star, whereas that is even though it still says Roadstar on the headstock, it's an RG because in '86 they went from RS to RG. RG meaning Roadster guitar, RS meaning Roadstar, I think, rather than Roadster guitar. But I mean, belter of a guitar. If you see one of these, if you get a chance to go and try one of these, see if you see it in Gumtree or something like that, or Facebook Marketplace, go and play it, and you'll know. Even like this one, which wasn't really set up, it wasn't playing like shit. But if you're going to set it up, and just wee things that you were saying there about the difference working with the qualities, like the tuners, they're just like the Ibanez smooth tunes, which are actually different from the ones that are on both of mine. But they're just go-to tuners, and it's like there's a wee adjustment screw on the top, and it's like it totally works, and it's like just everything does exactly as it's meant to, and even like the truss rods, it's like it turned really smoothly, and like the saddles had to adjust all of them, and you're thinking, oh, 40-year-old guitar, quite often the saddles of the wee bolts have all rusted, and it's like, no, it was fine, they all worked. Everything just worked fine. As I said, just a little bit of scoosh on the contacts and the points and a bit of a setup, and you've got a world class guitar. Rock on!